What in the world? Check 1 2. What's up, good money? Hit the like button when you jump in, folks. That would be excellent. Got to get that YouTube algorithm. Oh, man. Wait, what's up with that? Let's fix that. We'll fix some things here. Hang on, folks. Change. Every time I get on here, I want to start singing songs, but if I do that, YouTube will cut me off. They did it to me before. Chop me right off of here. Shut my stream down. Nintendo Switch update 10.0.0. Twitch update. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting my tags in so I can hit that YouTube algorithm. And it looks like Nintendo Switch update 10.0.0 is the number 5 search thing right now. So that's cool. Something's not right about that. All right. So let's go ahead and save those changes. Bada bing, bada boom. And now I'm going to get 10 million views. Hunt G Bunt. Jerry and XP, what's up? Can you guys hear me well? No, I got crusties in my head. Or is that just them damn grays, man? Them gray aliens coming through. Them grays. I don't like it. I ain't ready for that. Algorithm. That's right, Jerry. That's right. So let me send out another. Is that the share? See, I almost sang again because I said, "Is that the share?" And I was about to sing a share song, but they would have chopped me right off of here had I done that. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So let me go in. Sorry about the wait, folks, but YouTube did not want me to get on. I don't know if it was my computer or YouTube. I just restarted my computer and I'm on. So I guess it's got to be my computer. Let's go ahead and delete that forever. All right. Let's go to the live and see. It should say I'm streaming right now. And it does. It does say that. It's very nice to say. Wait, what's going on here? I'm just trying to get in. That's what he said. Come on. Come on. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go. Just give me 1 second, guys. I know you've been waiting already, but I got to get this thing working right. All right. So, Yamasuki Gaming, what's up? Kali Ma. Oh, I keep saying Kali Ma. I say it all the time. Kali Me. Chemo. What up? What up? Classic Modern Gaming, what's up? What's in this update? I will go through that. If you haven't read that yet, I will read the full breakdown. I'm going to start the video with that because it just happened not too long ago. I haven't even done the update myself. So, but I read over quickly what was in the update. So as soon as I get this to do something real quick, I will get into that. Just give me about 30 seconds, hopefully. And we'll get the stream started. We'll get this thing started, man. Yeah, another mistake I made is that I forgot I was on Wi-Fi. And currently everyone in the household is on Wi-Fi right now. So not a good thing. I forgot to go hardline. I often forget that with my laptop sometimes. So, all right. All I'm trying to do is share. Can I share? I want to share with the people. And then we can get up out of here and get the stream going. Get it going right. See, everything goes back to a song. So every time I say something, I want to start singing a song. No, YouTube don't like that. That algorithm is listening. It's listening. It's thinking. I don't know if it's thinking, but it's definitely listening. All right. Good. All right. That's good to go. Okay. Okay. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Looks like you guys all are doing that, so that's cool. Let's get out of that. Close that out, and we're good. What's up, everybody? Tea Talk is back. It's been a little bit, been a little minute. I've been kind of trying to wait for my laptop parts, or not my laptop parts, my PC parts to come in. I got my CPU. Turns out that was a blind. I wasted money buying that. I see a fly flying around my office here, and haven't seen one of those in a while. And he's gonna really get on my nerves. But yeah, so I've been trying to wait for that so I can get my full setup back. You know, my nice custom screens and all that good stuff that I have on my my desktop PC. So I waited, but I got it a couple days ago. Still didn't turn on. So there's two things left. Power supply. I was sure it was a CPU because, like I said, I bent the leads on it. I bent the what do you call them? The leads. I bent those, and I thought I screwed it up. Turns out maybe I didn't. So I just bought a power supply and waiting for that to come. Hopefully that's the problem. If not, the last thing it could be is the motherboard. That's the only thing else it could be. So we'll see how it goes. King Boom, what is up? What is up? Yeah, so let's go. All right, so system update. Thanks to Visored Grunt. I don't think he's in here, but I saw he tweeted and tagged me in the tweet about the update. No, he tagged me about something else. We're gonna get to that. But what did I get to? Terrell hit us up in the Hangouts chat and let us know the update was live for the Switch. So let me this fly. I thought I got him. You know, you hit him with that electric zapper, and he goes bzz, and you think you got it. Sometimes they get up, man. They strong, and this one is a big, strong mother. Shut your mouth. Double post tricked me again. I was on the old video. Yeah, sorry, man. I deleted it. So hopefully, did you see that fly? Did you see that fly? He's a big sucker. All right. Yeah, so let's get into the update for the Switch 10.0.0. Let us go. Let me read that out to you. This is from Gamatsu. The information is coming from them. Thank you, Visored Grunt, for retweeting my share there because I screwed it up. Well, somebody screwed it up, YouTube or somebody. But anyway, here we go. Added a bookmark feature to news. This feature allows you to bookmark your favorite news items. I do that all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always bookmarking news stuff from the Switch. A maximum of 300 news items can be bookmarked. That seems excessive, but okay. An internet connection is required to view bookmarked news items. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. News items that are no longer available cannot be viewed, even if they are bookmarked. So kind of obvious there. Added an option to transfer software data between the system memory and an SD card. This is probably the biggest thing from this update. And I hate to say biggest thing because this is like a normal thing. It's not that big of a deal. But when you've been starving for so long for something, this is, a good thing. So now you can finally save. You can finally take your saves from your SD card or from your system and move them into your SD card. so your system isn't all squished up. I'm sure this stuff you probably want to move around. You wanted to delete, or you wanted to move over and leave some extra space. And so now you don't have to worry about it anymore. You should have never had to worry about it in the beginning, but now you don't have to worry about that anymore. So users can now transfer downloadable software, update data, and downloadable content from the system memory to an SD card and vice versa, which is good because when you delete stuff, if you downloaded something and it went to your system memory and you know what I'm saying, like it's just a little bit annoying. You want to delete everything together. Note that save data and some update data cannot be transferred to an SD card. So there's still some nuance to that. An added option to remap the controller. So now the analog stick and button configurations can now be changed from each paired controller. Custom configurations can be saved as favorites in the system settings, controllers, and sensors. Custom configurations are stored in the Nintendo Switch system. So this is a system. This is on an OS level. Configurations can be customized for the following controllers: Joy-Con L and R, Switch Pro controller, but configuration can also be customized on the Nintendo Switch Lite system as well. This is a feature. This feature is not available for other controllers. So no third-party controllers, no like me, I have my Wii U controller linked and all that kind of stuff. No GameCube or anything like that. On each system, up to 5 favorite custom configurations can be saved for Joy-Con L, 5 for Joy-Con R, 5 for Nintendo Switch Pro controller, 5 for our configurations can also be saved as favorites for the Nintendo Switch Lite. So 5, 5, 5. And now an added new section in user settings for play activity settings. This one I didn't see when I browsed or when I kind of breezed over it. So the options for display play activity to and delete play activity have been moved from friend settings to new play activity settings. So does that mean your friends can no longer see how long you've been playing, or you can't see it from that menu anymore? Because I think that's caused some problems. We'll talk about that. Added new sections to lineup of user profile icons. Select from 6 new icons from Animal Crossing New Horizons game for your user. So you get new icons from the game, obviously. There's already Animal Crossing icons on there. There were already some on there. So these are specific to the game. And general system stability improvements to enhance user experience. So us trying to stop hackers, basically. So there you have it. Good stuff. Stuff that we should have had for some time already. I've got a bit of a microphone buzz. All right. It's my laptop. I thought once I got a USB mic, because the problem with my Mac was that, that's funny, it ain't the fly, it's the buzz. Was that the headphone jack, which is where the mic goes as well, it just was not acting right. So my headset was fine, but going through this that faulty jack was a problem. So now you're saying that I'm getting weird garbage from this mic, but it's not the mic, it's the computer. So Catmaj with a $5 donation. Thank you, Cat. Just throwing the channel some I got some love. Keep safe. You as well. Thanks for that. I'm trying to see. I got some stuttering here. Let me know if you guys still hear the buzzing. I'm doing my best. And I hope my best is good enough. Hope that doesn't get me knocked off for saying that. All right. So, and it could be interference too. Mics are, this isn't the most expensive mic, so it could be interference coming from my laptop. So I try to keep it away as far as I can. Let me know if you still hear it. Yeah. I'm in my gloves and whatnot, not because I think I'm cool, but because I was just getting my lift on. And I'm gonna go back to it, and I have like really dry, callousy. Is that the right word? Callus on my my grip. So I put like special sensitive lotion in there. So I don't want to take it off too early. That's why I kept them on. Um, uh, Big J, what's up? Thanks for joining. So yeah, there is all your system, or should I say, our system updates rundown. So that's good. I mean, we can move over. Finally, we can move our stuff from our system memory to our SD card, which you would hope to do, 3 years ago, but better late than never. And but that one thing, which was it? No, not that. All right, open the wrong program. It'll take 10 years to load, and it slowed my computer down. What was it? The remap is cool for. I mean, I don't really care about that stuff because I've probably never remapped. Maybe sometimes in a game, like on the game level, but not an OS level thing. But so that's cool for people who want a permanent remap of their buttons and all that. But I don't know if cool is the wrong word, but the user setting for play activity, hopefully it's updated to the point where you can see more than 5-hour increments. So hopefully that's a thing. If you guys already know, let me know in the chat if you know that's a thing. What's up, Jonathan Reed? Thanks for joining. Yeah, so let me know if you know that's what's going on with that. So, do you still hear a buzz? Because I've moved my laptop as far as comfortably possible away from the mic. Let me know. It's cracking. Oh no, he said. He said, "What's cracking?" Oh, what's up, Zeno? Or is it Zeno? Zengetsu, what's up? What's up, man? Thanks for joining. So yeah, good stuff in there. At least it's not just the normal. What is it? I left that on. No, I didn't. I did add it on at the end. It's not the normal general stability stuff. And that's what we usually get. We've gotten that for quite a few updates now. So still buzzing occasionally when I talk. I think it's interference from my laptop. I mean, it's not the best mic, but I can't use my headset, which is great. I can't use that because, like I said, this laptop is the problem. It's the problem. It's the problem. It's not the solution for my live streams. My desktop is, and hopefully next time I'll be on that again. Fingerless glove. Now, again, these are my Gold's Gym lifting gloves, so it's not a fashion statement. So if you see me in these, it's because I'm about to lift. Because, like I said, I use like the special aloe lotion for my callousy ass fingers grips, and I put it on early because it helps. It's squishy in here, but yeah, it helps with my dry ass hands. So if you see me wearing these in a video or something, I'm not making a fashion statement. It's because I'm about to lift or I just got done lifting, and I want to keep it sounds really weird, the moisture from the gloves in. He's gonna have to stretch. That's one thing I need to do more of. I don't stretch as much as I should probably, but yeah. So that's it for the update. Interesting stuff there. Like I said, if you know about the play activity stuff, if you're testing it out right now, let me know so I can tell everybody who maybe hasn't had a chance to check it out yet. I'm not going to download or do anything because, like I said, everybody in the house right now is on Wi-Fi or bringing down the bandwidth. So not going to do that right now. So Let me know if you are able to. It was a pain just to get on this thing. I tried like 3 times and it kept spinning and saying you're what does it say? Going live, and it's spinning, and I'm sitting there looking at it and nothing happened. So going under maintenance. Oh, okay. Well, maybe everybody tried to do the update and it crashed. So I don't know. That's crazy. Whoops. I just hit the whole desk and everything shook. All right. So move along. Peace to you. All right. Let's see. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody. Social distance and all that stuff. Wash your hands. Face mask if you can. But definitely stay safe. All right. I'm trying to find my topics here. I should know them. It's not much. All right. Since I guess we can roll into that because we're talking features here. At least updated features for the Switch. So I wanted to say what I would like to see, and I wanted to comment on. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, says Zena. All right, see you. What was I going to say? I wanted to comment on the play control thing. I was hoping somebody already knew what that was about, but I can't. So obviously, one of the things that everybody has wanted, especially since the Wii U, if you're a Wii U owner, it gave you up to the minute stats on your gameplay, like exactly like how many hours, minutes you played. It told you what day of the week of the year, week of the month of the year, all that good stuff. I don't know if it'll get that detailed, which I really like that. It's just, it didn't really serve any practical purpose. It was just cool to be able to see that stuff. I'm gonna just wait till tomorrow to update, says Ewan. Is giving you that much trouble, huh? Still in 5-hour increments after certain point. I do have a game that says played for 1 hour. Yeah, it does that. It says play for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And after that, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. So what you're saying is true. That haven't fixed that. Not sure what if anything has changed on that front. So it is possible that it's just bringing over what you've already done as far as your time, but maybe going forward it'll get more detailed. Look at that fly. He's just testing me. He's right now sitting on the top of my webcam, and he's not looking at me, but I want to scream, but I don't want to kill you guys who may be wearing what do you call it? Headphones. So I want to scream for somebody to come to bring me the fly swatter, the fly zapper. My daughter said she was going to watch the stream. If you're watching, baby girl, go in the living room and get me the fly swatter or the fly zapper. That'd be great. So yeah, he's sitting right there. It's so easy to get. I bet if I tried to get him, I'd zap the whole damn the whole webcam and completely screw the stream. What's up, video game lover? Oh, she heard me. Hi. Thank you. Walk close slowly. Thank you, baby girl. She was watching. And now you guys may see a live execution. Oh, he got away. I'm going to get you. Oh, he's coming back. This is very interesting for you guys, I'm sure. Yeah, so hopefully, that time feature will update and we'll get better increments. We'll get hour to hour, at least hour to hour. Come on, 5-hour increments. That's insane. You don't have to go down to the minute like the Wii U used to do. I'm pretty sure it was minutes as well. And days of the week and how long you played that day and having your little charts. That was so, I liked it. I'm kind of nerdy like that. I like to see that kind of stuff. But it doesn't have to be that, detailed, but come on, can we get an hour by hour assessment? You know, is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. I don't think so. And obviously, everybody wants this. We're tired of complaining about it. I'm sure everybody's tired of complaining about it. But you know, themes and folders. I would really like themes and folders at this point. My digital library is such that, and it's not even that, because if you go into, the gaming basement, the games basement on your Switch, which is after you scroll all the way to the right and you click more games. Is that what it's called? Let me look at my Switch so I'll know what I'm talking about here. You click more games, right? I think that's what it is. Let's see. And yeah, all software. So you click the little all software thing, and you go into this, the basement of all your games. And the problem with this, the biggest problem is that this shows not just your digital games. It would be better, I think, for some people. Some people play only digital on Switch, so it wouldn't help them at all. But for me, these are all my physical games, you know, and they're all mixed in with my digital. So my digital downloads. So it's just annoying, you know. I mean, it does set you up by, alphabetical order if you want to do that. I mean, that's good. And by genre, is it by genre as well? No, that'd be too detailed. Last time played, total play time, by title, which is alphabetical, and then by publisher. I don't know why. Who looks up games by who? I guess you would separate your game by publisher, but I would probably want a genre over a by publisher thing. So I'll just keep this down here. Maybe right there. So yeah, like, here's that fly again. I'm gonna be fighting with this fly the whole stream, just so you guys know. What was I saying? Yeah, so it'd be nice to be able to put them in folders and separate them that way, the way you could do on your 3DS, and you could do on Wii U, obviously. So that would be nice to have. Come on, T, you know better than to ask for things the Wii U and 3DS had. It's so funny because I was just talking about that. The Switch isn't powerful enough and isn't meant for those apps. It is meant to be minimalistic. Less is more. So yeah, obviously retro is being sarcastic. But yeah, I mean, these are small things. Again, if you want to hold Nintendo to their own standards, they should have this. Let's see, grid base, not single file. I hate that. Looks at PS4. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, like, why do I have to go into my basement? Like, I hate to say it, but no, I'm not gonna say that, because I don't really believe that the Xbox UI is better, because it really isn't. It also has its basement and all that kind of stuff. So, but if you hold it to Nintendo's own standards, we should have folders. Come on, we should have themes. We should have themes because we have a feature that you can click that says themes. It's only black and white. 3 years in and it's still black and white. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. And again, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. We have the 3DS to look at. The Wii U didn't have themes, but the Wii U had a lot of personality on its own. It had the Wada Wada Plaza. It would play music. It would do that. It was just that little hum, and then you hear little me voices, all that kind of stuff. So that was cool. Like, I missed that personality. Not that we had a lot of personality in Nintendo as far as the UI goes. Before, like, the Wii. The Wii was the first UI for Nintendo to have, like, personality to it, with the channel themes and all that kind of stuff. So, but people want that, especially in a little personal handheld hybrid, console device. You like to personalize your stuff. That's one of the things I like about my Joy-Con. I guess you can't really call them Joy-Cons, but my Split Pad Pro is that it gives my Switch personality. Not a lot of people have these, and it just looks cool. And some people, I pulled it out, and people like, is that a Switch? I didn't even realize it was a Switch. So it's cool. It's cool. I like personalizing my stuff. Obviously, I have. Can I get to them? Or I actually bought the grips for this. My Joy-Con or my Pro controller. I bought these grips. They're not. This isn't the Splatoon controller, but I like those colors. So I bought those and put them on. And obviously my Joy-Cons. I have the candy color buttons. Let's see, it's really, I have to get closer. So it's kind of blown out. So I got the candy color buttons, custom buttons, and the thumbstick stuff. So yeah, I like having that customization to make it mine, to make my stuff unique. That's just me. It's what I like to do. I didn't realize this was a gun show. Yeah, right. I wish, bruh. I'm trying to get back. I'm embarrassed from where I used to be. So, but anyway, but yeah, I'm trying to get back. Definitely, because especially right now, it's easy to just kind of laze around and not do anything, and done way too much of that. So, trying to get back in shape. All right. So, let's see. Your Switch with those on it makes it look like a big Atari Lynx. Totally. You're right. It does make it look like a Lynx. Somebody said it before. Maybe it was you. I was like, yeah, it does kind of look like a Lynx. That's funny. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, like these are simple things that can be done in an update. Themes can be done in an update. And themes, maybe limit people, because I think they're worried about, taking up too much CPU computing power to run some kind of custom theme. But, a few more kilobytes, is not going to hurt your CPU for a background, and you can get themes in kilobytes as far as the size go, with compression especially. It doesn't have to be like moving themes and anything like that. Music, you can get a loop that's it's kilobytes in size, that can loop on your Switch. And again, this is just like money that Nintendo's just like not wanting. It's like you can sell these things. I bought a few on my 3DS, quite a few. I think I bought about 10 different themes, and I have them kind of rotate. I have it in that setting, and I would totally buy some for my Switch. Some themes for your favorite games. Every game should probably come with a theme. Every company should get on it. Every company should be pushing Nintendo to say, "Hey, we want to be able to put themes with our games, so we can download, so people can download them right away. Get the game and you can download the theme. You don't have to have the game to download the theme if you don't want, but that's a nice selling feature. Like add a couple bucks on, to your $50 game, your $40, $60 game, whatever. And you can make another extra little piece of change for everybody. That's a cool thing, especially if people are really into a game. Animal Crossing. You think Animal Crossing themes wouldn't have sold like crazy? This is Nintendo themselves. They're just not getting this money. This is easy money and they don't want to get it. So I don't understand. Like, it's one thing for third parties to be out, but for Nintendo themselves to miss out on this easy money, make a custom theme for Animal Crossing. Everybody would have it on their Switch right now in the background. Like, I'm sure. And just some quick little, it doesn't have to be an elaborate, crazy orchestrated music piece. It could be 8-bit. Like, I think 8-bit tunes would be cool. It'll be really interesting to have just like 8-bit tunes of a game that you really like a Breath of the Wild or something. With you get the Breath of the Wild background with a cool kind of bit tune. That'd be dope. I think people would love that. You can buy it in a bulk. Let's say $4.99 or something for the song, the track, and the theme, or $3.99 for the total, something like that. Like I think a lot of people would get on that, and that's a nice piece of change that everybody's missing out on, including Nintendo. So, Xenoblade themes, like Zeno said, yeah, Xenoblade, I'd have been all over that. So they just threw, I don't want to say throwing money away, but they're just, burning potential money by not having this yet. It's crazy to me. So I don't know. I don't know why they don't want their money. Get that money for something that everybody wants. And it'd be like amiibos all over again. People would be like, "What theme you got?" Everybody be trying to like collect all the themes. Because some people like get crazy with that collecting stuff. I don't know who they are, but they get a little crazy. Be buying Mario plus Rabbit statues. That they're never gonna open. It's gonna be, kind of just sitting in a box forever. Got amiibos and stuff. I don't know who those people are. They're crazy. But I just want to say, for the YouTube algorithm, Nintendo Switch update 10.0.0. That's Nintendo Switch update 10.0.0 is live. And if you guys understand the algorithm, you'll understand why I'm being funny in doing that. All right. So this is kind of going along because I'm kind of answering you guys' stuff. I don't think I missed anything major that you guys are saying here. Conga Slam says, I would like to have folders for retail games and digital games. Right. I would love to do that. Be able to split them up. Kat going back to work. Catch you on the playback. Thank you, Kat, again for your donation. Appreciate that. Let's see, Ewan for real. The Vita even had folders. Ewan says the Vita even had folders. Yeah, and you know how popular that system was. They still had folders. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody here. Mythical folders are the only thing. Mythical says folders are the only thing I really want at this point. Sorry, I missed you there. I wonder what the actual reason we don't have the basic things is. I can live without these things, obviously, but why? Says Mythical One. I don't know. I don't. I'm tired of complaining about them. But I don't know. I don't know why it's still a thing that we don't have these things. These are simple things. These are things that are obviously ready to be implemented. I don't know about folders. Probably take a little bit more, but certainly themes would be easy for them to do. And it's not a necessity. Again, it is a luxury. But on a console that is pretty bare bones as far as the user interface goes, and it's just kind of bland, it would be nice, to have some of that extra cool stuff. Zeno says, right, bro, I would totally rock a Zeno profile pic. I mean, of course, especially if they gave me some, Xenoblade X. Oh my gosh. If I could rock that in my background, that would be what I do. So you have your Xenoblade profile with your 8-bit tune or whatever. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can still do a relatively robust loop and still be in kilobytes in size. I've done that myself with compression, so you can do it. So it's not something that's gonna take up too much space on your SD card or anything like that. It's not going to take too much computing for your CPU or anything like that. And it's just, I don't know. And that's only, and even if it did, it would only happen during your during when you're in the menu. Like when you get into a game, it shuts off. That stuff is gone, so it's not pulling away from games or anything. So I don't understand it. So how is he liking it? I'm late liking the update. I don't know. Boom Tendo. I haven't updated myself yet. I was hoping some of you guys did so we can get some details. I mean, I laid out the details as far as what we're getting, but I wanted to see if you guys had tried him out and had some more to give. Somebody did, I forgot who that was, gave some more information, personal use of the update. So, but other than that, nothing crazy. But hopefully the play time, like I said, because we don't know exactly on that. Hopefully it's more. The online play invites thing is still hardly used for any games. I mean, that's it's like it's like we're being teased on some of this stuff, like the play invites. Like, come on. It's an OS level thing. Why are you not using it? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're not doing things, but it is what it is. And we will just continue to wait because we have no choice. But that doesn't mean you can't voice your frustrations just because you can't make things happen. Maybe Nintendo was holding all this back for Switch 2 or some BS. I mean, is that acceptable? No. I don't think they're holding it back. I just think they don't care enough to implement these things. They need somebody on our level who is a fan of the console, not just somebody who works there, but somebody who's at the ear level of fans and can say, hey, a lot of fans really want this. Hey, a lot of people really want that. I would do that. I'd do it for free if they listened. Like I would be happy to give them that consultation. I would do it. I would happily do it. Call me every Saturday or call me at the end of every week and ask me what the fans are thinking, what they want. And I wouldn't just do what I want, but I know a lot of these things fans want. And I did a video not too long ago about me switching. It was an April Fool's joke about me switching to doing Xbox only content. And I put up that promo for Xbox Live from 2002. And the features he was going through, it's just sad to know that Xbox 2002 Xbox Live had more features in it than 2020 Nintendo Switch. I mean, if you were sitting around in 2002 and you said, you know what, there's going to be a console in 2020 who doesn't have these features, who can't hold a candle to this stuff in 18 years from now, people would have laughed. Like, because when we think about the future, we always think about the cool stuff that could be. What's up, Lurking Ghoul? What's up? We always think about the cool stuff that could be, and we would never ever think, we thought, when you saw the iPhone, you saw smartphones and where they went at that point, you were like, there's no way you would think a game console in 2020 couldn't at least match what was happening back then, and it's crazy. People get upset about it. Here's the thing. I'm not the biggest, like, I need crazy online. I need $60 online feature. I'm not. But can we get the basics down? Like the basic stuff, like, voice chatting. I probably still won't use it myself, but it's very convenient for people who are not me, kids especially, to not have to have a laptop or, their cell phone or whatever attached to them as they're playing a game. It's very convenient. My son does it all the time. He on Fortnite anyway, he plugs his headset, or my headset I should say, into his Switch, and he plays and chats with his friends that way. It's very convenient, and all his friends do the same thing. So it's very convenient for them to do that. And for a company like Nintendo, who is talks about being family friendly and all that kind of stuff, this is a family friendly younger kids type of thing, where it's very convenient for them to not have to have a mobile device to chat with their friends. It's kind of crazy, it's kind of insane. And as a parent, I understand that because I have a kid, and as a teacher, I see how kids interact with each other, and having to put a device in between these technologies just so these technologies can meet, like it's crazy, and there's no excuse for it. And there really isn't any excuse that it's acceptable in 2020. And like I said before, I say it all the time, I gave Wii U a slack. I gave it a lot of slack because it was free. It was doing, and it was trying. It was getting there. It had like video chat. Remember? It had Miiverse. It had you could do all the share stuff you do now. We did that, back on the Wii U, that everybody does right now. Sharing photos, not video, obviously, but you can share pictures. You could, hey, I'm stuck in this game. I mean, that's so cool. And show them a screenshot exactly where you are, and instantly somebody get back to you. It's not Twitter. Twitter, people don't want to do that. That's not a thing for Twitter. Miiverse was perfect for that because everybody was focused on playing video games. And so when you got a message on Miiverse, you saw a message on Miiverse, somebody put up, it's about gaming. So it was so much easier to go in and, hey, yeah, I know where that is. I beat that last night. Boom, 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 boom. And it was great. And it was camaraderie. It was social. It was a nice social network. Miiverse was. It was closed, but that was good because, again, it was focused, where Twitter is not focused. Nobody goes to Twitter for gaming tips. It just doesn't happen that way. And I'm still upset that Nintendo doesn't understand that and didn't see the value in Miiverse for the community aspect of Nintendo. So, am I still working? No, not currently. Not teaching. No. But we're okay. We're okay. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, I mean, like, this is stuff that everybody wants. It should be there. And again, based on Nintendo's own, I thought Nintendo was taking a step. The Wii was a step. It was a small step into finally going online. It had its problems, obviously. There's a lot of it. I think a lot of it stemmed from the lack of RAM. It only had 88 megas of RAM, so there was only so much you can do online. And it was, it was all right for what it was. And we had the virtual console and all that stuff was great. WiiWare was great. So you had the channels, and most of the time those things ran perfectly. They ran just fine for me on Wi-Fi. So Nintendo started social distancing in 2017. It seems mythical. Seems like it. They're ahead of the curve on that. I don't know why, because again, they're supposed to be all about couch gaming, couch co-op and all that stuff. And I guess they're still about couch co-op. I don't know. They don't want to get into online seriously. Like I said, I'm not even overly crazy about that. But give me a messaging app, or an app or ability to message my friends. I mean, that's not a big, I mean, you're charging people. We should be able to contact our friends in our friends list, because if they're not, we can't, then why have a friends list? Why have friends if you can't contact them and say, hey, let's do this? It's, instead of going through some weird third party, I mean, not third party, but again, middle, device that has to connect these two technologies. I mean, that's crazy. Monkey in the middle device. So that's my rant on Switch and or Switch lack of features. But like, it won't take much for me. Like I said, it won't take much. Offer up some more stuff for Switch Online. If you're not going to do, I mean, we can go into not virtual console, but we can go into any SNES Online, NES Online. I mean, it's pathetic. You guys know it's pathetic. You know it's pathetic. I know it's pathetic. We're on a 2020 console, right? And all the games that it offers for its, Switch Online package are 16 years or older. I mean, come on. The glare of NES, SNES has worn off. It wore off late. I want to say late Wii. It started to wear off. That whole, oh man, it's so cool to be able to play all these Nintendo games on one console. That was cool about the Wii, is that you could play GameCube because it was backwards compatible. And then you can play Nintendo's legacy titles up to that point from NES, SNES, N64. And then you can play, obviously, other consoles. So that was mind-blowing. That was so cool. People cheered for that. That E3 was great. But that nostalgia has worn off. There's so many ways to play retro titles today with these retro consoles they have that give you HDMI, emulation. There's so many different ways to play. So that has kind of worn off as far as being able to play games that are that old. It's time for N64. It's time for GameCube. Wii would be a little bit trickier, obviously, because just gyro. It's not really pointer controls, but N64, GameCube. We should have got that probably. I mean, we got it on Wii. We got N64 games on Wii and Wii U. It was virtual console, but there was a way to play those. Those should be. It's 3 years in. Those should be at least right now, this year. Those should be rolled out. N64, GameCube. Those should be consoles that are rolled out for Switch Online service. And for not getting that, for not having that, if we don't get that this year, man, it's a fail. It's a complete fail to me. Or like Nintendo's publishing these small bite-sized little games or whatever. Those should be free on if you're a Nintendo Switch Online, member. Like, I forget what it's called. Like that Stretchers game. There's a new one coming out. I can't think of the name of it, but that's the kind of stuff that should be online. So I don't know. You're not going to convince me otherwise, because it just, I mean, come on, let's be serious. The Wii had N64 games. The Wii U had N64 games. I wish it would have did GameCube backwards compatibility, because it was able to do it, but for some reason, I mean, I guess cost. It would have cost the system more to have it, because I saw somebody mod theirs to where they could play GameCube games. So I don't know. It's I think it was system. It was a software mod, actually. So I don't know. This is your second HD console. All the excuses I hear, oh, the HD Pro, all that stuff. Come on. They've had 4, 5 years, 6 years to learn HD programming. It wasn't our fault that they decided not to jump into HD until late. That's fine. I'm fine with it. But stop making excuses for them, please. Stop. They have all the resources in the world. They don't have a 3DS to deal with. They don't have a handheld. And guys, remember, Nintendo served a handheld and a home console, a very popular, high-selling handheld along with the home console. They've done that since 1989. 1989, the Game Boy came out, and Nintendo was able, and they weren't making as much money back then. They were making big money, especially for a games company at that time in those days. But they're making way more money today. Their games are selling way more today. So they don't have, which they've had, if you want to call it a crutch, it's a crutch as far as software design is, software development is, because you don't have to cater to a smaller studio making smaller software for a handheld that's very popular. So you don't have to do that. So now all your handheld games can come out on your home console. And so you don't have to separate. There's no separation there. And we've had that for a few years now. I mean, I think they talked about implementing that in early 2015. Iwata mentioned that that was going to be a thing. So maybe it's not in full throw yet, but it should be pretty close at this point. And we've had a year and a half, maybe more, since we've had like a straight up big. When was the last time we had a straight up big first party game on 3DS? Was it Samus Returns? I mean, that was 3 years ago. It was almost 3 years ago. It was 2.5 years ago. So we need to get this thing going. We need to pump this thing into gear. They have all the resources in the world. They're making hand over fist money. They're making Wii type of figures right now, and they're not making Wii type of effort on the for our benefit. So let's see what you guys are saying. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I think you guys like the rants. Let's see. Surveys. Let me go a little further because I didn't see. Silicon 17 says all they did with updates so far was profile pics with a few extra that tires out quick. More personality is the only personality. Oh, more personality. The only personality is the click of the switch. Yeah, and that's cool. We all loved it. We all loved it. You slide your Joy-Con in and you get the click, and we love it. That's great. But we want something after that click. We want to hear something. We want to see something. And, I feel like somebody somewhere, because people are modding their Switches all the time, doing cool stuff. They modded it to when you slide it in, it says stuff, or it does different things. I think one did the GameCube jingle when you slid in your Joy-Con. I mean, that's a little crazy, but, that's stuff that they can do. They can implement that stuff on the software level in an update, because modders have done that with software. So it's something they could do, and they should do. Let's see. It slid back up again. I guess somebody typed something and it slid. Or maybe not. Maybe I just missed these two. So let me read this. Zeno, if my Switch Pro comes out, I will buy that and hack my OG Switch and then add custom themes and sounds like it did. Me too. That's exactly what I'm waiting on, Zeno. We think alike, because that's what I'm going to do. The Pro comes out, I will definitely hack my current Switch and upclock it and all that good stuff, and do all the hacks that I see people with cool themes. I'm just so jelly. I'm like, look at this stuff that people are doing. It's really cool. And again, it is software. It's based. It's not. You don't have to go in and jigger with your hardware. You have to open it up. It is all software stuff that people are implementing. I thought Nintendo was about personality. Me too, Silicon. They've always been. I felt like it. A lot of the previous consoles had personality. Although the Wii didn't go as far as it was hinting at, there was a lot of colors that didn't come out for it, but it did do some stuff as far as physical. And then the Wii menu was, I got something in my eye. The Wii menu had personality. So Nintendo sold more Xenoblade. Nintendo sold more sold some Xenoblade themes that would be fantastic, Zeno. It's partially why I waited to get the Switch. I do miss the Wada Wada Plaza. It just seems kind of lackluster. Yeah, and there is some sadness to the Wada Wada Plaza because I do still actively play my Switch or Wii U because it's not. There's no more Miiverse, and you guys, you've had. I'm sure you maybe went on afterwards. I think this happened in late 2017 after the Miiverse was taken out. There was no more. It just is not as cool. People are still there, but you can't connect to them and all that stuff. And you don't get to see people's games, what they're playing. They don't huddle up under certain games, the top games. That was so cool, man, to see. You could see what the top games were just by turning your Switch on or turning your Wii U on. You could see what the top games were because people were huddled around the top games. People were all huddled around them on your Wada Wada Plaza. And people were talking about them in Miiverse. That was such a cool feature. Why, Nintendo? Why did you get rid of it? It doesn't make sense to me. Let's see, Dekuma. It's partially why I waited to. Oh, I read that already. Mythical. So that was Dekuma talking about waiting in the Wada Wada Plaza thing. Mythical. How about we start with Xeno profile picks first? F-Zero. Zeno says F-Zero, a release F-Zero game that came with a theme, and it would sell gangbusters. Yes, I agree. People would go crazy over that. I think they would. I would totally buy it. I'd be, cheering about it all the time, saying how cool it is. Having that theme in the back, or having the theme in the background, and having a little tune play. I'd be in love, man. I think that would be great. Let's see. Zeno Mythical, right, bro? I would totally rock a Xeno profile pick. I read that. All right, so I can skip down now because I read a lot of this. Play invites, I read that. Nintendo's holding them back. All right, so now I think I'm up to where am I? I have the update, the control swap, and memory swapping are the big features, quote unquote big features, says Mythical. Maybe next Nintendo system will be a larger tablet. Yeah, they might make it bigger. I don't know. I think the Switch size is perfect, actually. Maybe a little bigger, but I think it's a good size already. Zeno, they should send out some surveys for desired Switch features. Yeah, totally. I agree with that. They send out surveys when they want you to pick Smash characters. So why can't we get surveys for features that we want? It would be awesome. Conga Slam says it would be awesome if we could get daily log and new Miiverse to just talk about games. I hate having to go to social media. Me too. And again, you don't get the same. You don't get the same attention. For me as a YouTuber and people who are on my YouTube, they know I do Nintendo YouTubing stuff mostly, and so they expect a lot of my tweets to be about gaming and stuff, and they are. But social media as far as Twitter, that kind of stuff isn't really built for it. You need a internal app for gamers, and it's focused. And internal Twitter, which Miiverse kind of was, and they could have built upon it. They could have added. Miiverse did have videos at the end, right? Or you could at least upload like a clip of Mario Kart. Like 30 seconds or something to a minute, maybe a minute of your match. So it was, again, I was hoping that it was going to be a step. And Nintendo was taking these steps, but apparently they fell all the way back down the stairs and they're going to start again. And they do that. And it's just, It drives me crazy. Mythical. Nintendo started social distancing. Oh, I read that already. Lurking Ghoul. I remember I couldn't argue or I couldn't figure something out on Wonderful 101 and asked on Miiverse, and someone gave me the answer. Yeah, and that would happen to me too. And you're in the game and you're like, oh, I can't get past this. All you got to do is hit that home button and upload that photo of where you are into Miiverse. You can show person exactly where you were, and they'll get right back to you. Most people got right back to me when I put up something while I was playing. So yeah, you can click off and go to YouTube, and but that's not as personable. That's not as personal as you're sharing a moment in gaming with other gamers. That is cool, you know. And I don't know why they didn't see the value in it. Let's see. Conga Slam. I'm going back to friend codes was dumb. Wii U did it better by search for user. Yeah, I mean, friend codes in 2020, man. What can I say? Give us some Master System, Genesis, Game Gear, N64, and GameCube. Now, here's the thing, Conga Slam. I don't think you're going to get Genesis, Game Gear, stuff like that, Master System, whatever, because these companies make a pretty decent amount of money selling their own compilations. Those do well today. And so they don't see the sense in doing the virtual console. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. And then you have to deal with licensing, and there's all kind of problems with that as far as games go. So, you know, some of these companies, a lot of these companies feel it's just easier for them to do a remaster like Activision did with both of the trilogies, Spyro and Crash, or, you know, do a compilation. You know, Sega has a compilation, 40 games on cartridge and disc for the other consoles for their classic stuff. So they figure, you know, it's better for them to do that. And I don't really disagree with that. I think that's a good way to do it. So, well, I'm just saying Nintendo should have, like they're doing with SNES, NES, they should have N64 or GameCube at this point. And I don't think I'm wrong about that. I mean, you can't really be right or wrong. It's kind of an opinion, but there isn't one Nintendo fan out there right now, even the ones who staunchly defend the lacklusterness of Switch. Tell them, oh yeah, we're going to give you N64 or GameCube. You think they're going to say no? No. But they'll get mad about me complaining about it. But if they got it, oh, this is great. It's the greatest thing ever. So it's kind of hypocritical. But, you know, these things that we should have. Let's see. They stopped pushing the Switch again. Not sure what you're talking about there, Silicon. Anyone know how to visit Friends Island in Animal Crossing? Yeah, man, it's very simple. As long as you're friends with them, all you got to do is go to the airport. I forget the name of it, and say that you want to fly, and it'll say he'll ask you about do you want to fly to like random islands or do you want to fly to like a Friends Island, and that's what you do. But I think you have to allow your friend. The friend has to allow you to. No, I don't know if that's true because I went to Friends on my Switches account. I went to their islands. They didn't have to allow. I don't think. Maybe there is a feature. Maybe they just didn't. And they knew. Maybe I think you do. I'm not sure. I think you have to allow people to come to your island in your own settings on the game. So, but other than that, it's very simple. I guess somebody probably answered it already. This is far back. Too much shovelware. Oh God. Oh gosh. I defend the Wii against shovelware. The Switch has a ton and tons and tons of shovel garbage. It's just that eShop is just, I don't even want to like go on anymore. And it's screwed up because there are games out there that I probably would like to play that I miss because I don't even like going on there and seeing the mountains of trash on that homepage of this eShop. It's just so much garbage wrapped in good games, and the good games get missed. And you see why companies, sell their game for $1 just to get recognized. And they're good games, and it's sad because the eShop is so bad. I mean, that's something they need to fix as well. That's something that should be set up by publisher. The way your Switch game basement is, your all games category basement is. Because the Wii U did it, it would set it up by genre and category that way, publisher. So the Switch should do it too, instead of having these good games get swallowed up in a sea of trash. It's I hate to see that. Let's see. What do you think? And that was, who asked that question or said that? Silicone said that. Mythical, where do you think their money is going? Whose money? Nintendo's? Going to their pockets. I hope someone's going into research and development, R&D, but obviously it's going into game design, game development. There are big games that we know about that are coming. So, no way is Metroid coming this year. Probably not even next year. Yeah, there's no way it's coming this year. With that restart kind of delay, no, it's not happening. It'll most likely, I feel like it's going to be next fall, but that's, that could be wrong as well. But if Retro Studios' pitch was as good as said, and they already had an idea and they were, close or ready to go, they might be farther along in it than we know. But I'm not going to say they are. Let's see. Is it this year Metroid Prime 4 comes out, or they haven't said? No, they haven't said Silicon, and it's not going to be this year. I want my Pikmin 4. Where is Pikmin 4? Like, I don't know why Pikmin isn't out yet. Fingers crossed for Pikmin, though. Yeah, Pikmin could be this year. We don't know. It could be. Nintendo surprised us, kinda, with Mario, Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, we saw that little snippet in the reveal trailer, but we didn't know when it was coming. And we got nobody. There was no rumors, I don't think, going into E3 before they revealed Mario Odyssey, which was phenomenal. So Pikmin could be a thing. Let's see. Yay, they are holding a lot back. Hope it's a good sign. Yeah. Hopefully, the end of the year. I mean, I don't need a lot. I would like 3 bangers. No More Heroes is coming this year. I hope it's a banger. I'm very excited for that. So that'll be one game that'll make me feel better. Nintendo is going to have something. My guess is going to be Mario Odyssey 2, which, would be great. I hope they don't, start putting out. I hope they don't put out any remake or remaster for like their big end of the year game. And I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 might be March 2021. It might come out, the same time as Breath of the Wild came out for the first one came out for Switch. So, and I'd be fine with that. So one other surprise would be nice. F-Zero, something, a legacy title like that would make my day. So hopefully something like that. That would be cool. Yeah, Sega Genesis Collection on Switch. Silicon. Not as online service for Sega. 3DS had one Shining Force game, but I wish I could play all the Shining Force games. Really? Shining Force? Oh, well, Shining Force, you can play them all on Virtual Console, I'm pretty sure. Well, except for the Saturn one. So, Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play. That's why I said that I made that video about waiting for remasters and stuff. Everything is not coming. We're not going to be able to play all those greats from back in the day. You're going to have to end up being content with playing the old console and finding a way to make it look good to play in your current setup. And it is. There's a lot of ways to make your. There's this myth that they have to look bad on your HD TV. Not the case. You have to spend a little bit more money, not a whole lot, to get it to look good on your current setup. I don't have, there's expensive options out there like, what's that thing called? Something Master, where, it's $300 or something like that. You don't have to go that far to get it to look good on your TV. There's a lot of options out there to where you can play retro games. This new console called the Poly Mega, which I'm definitely thinking about getting, mostly for Saturn stuff, just when I want to capture and all that stuff. But the Poly Mega plays PlayStation 1, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, and is it Neo Geo CD? And they were talking about other 3D consoles that might be coming, like a Dreamcast or something like that. I mean, all in one console. It's HD, so it hooks up your current setup. I've seen captures of it. It looks great. And on top of that, this is the thing. One of the things that got me most excited is that I have Panzer Dragoon Saga, but the Japanese version, because I never bought. I rented the original of the North American version for Sega Saturn, but I never bought it. And now it's $700 game. It's stupid expensive. But I have the Japanese version. So, but what I can do with the Poly Mega is very simple. I can download a patch, a fan-made translation patch, so I can play my Japanese copy in English on the Poly Mega, and that's dope. Like, it's crazy that they can emulate Saturn, because that was one of the hardest things. It took 20 years to figure out how to emulate Saturn games competently, and now I can download patches, English patches for my Japanese games, easy. And it was, I saw it. It was an easy thing to do. That is insane. So there are a lot of ways you can play retro consoles on your current system. You gotta spend money, but like I said in the video, my video is that you're not just stuck to just wanting to play that one game. Now you might say, well, let me check some of these other older games out that I wanted to play. And now you have a resource to where you can play these games again. So yeah, just reiterating what I said in that video. I meant on the hardware for pushing the Switch. True. The Switch eShop is so bad in terms of shovelware that I only go there to buy arcade titles for Neo Geo games. Yeah, that's sad, Nintendo guy. It is bad. It is bad how much bad is on there. And Nintendo was all about quality control. Like, they were all about quality games, and I thought that they were going to be, because they were kind of stringent, and people got on them for Wii U. Although a few garbage games came through still on there, especially towards the end, they started just letting. There were. I remember I got a review copy for Dumpster Bear. Dumpster Bear, and it's a platformer, and you're a bear, and it had good controls. I'll give it that. The visuals were stank, but instead of a flagpole, I think there was a dumpster that you dive into at the end. I mean, it was pretty terrible. As far as the visuals and all that kind of stuff go, it's totally shovelware garbage. But I had fun playing it, and it was free, so it was that made it better. But there wasn't a whole lot on the Wii U. People would, kind of getting on Nintendo about their quality control, and maybe it should be a little more loose so we can get more games. And boy, are they loose on Switch. They are a $2 hoe loose on Switch. And man, just garbage. And it wasn't like that in the beginning, obviously, because there was less games. Now that there's so many games on there, it's hard. Because I used to go through probably once a week and just go through and pick out and look at games and say, I'll add that to my wish list. That looks cool. I'll get that at some point. And especially, now they got, you get the notification that an item on your wish list is on sale. That's great. I would go in and pop it, get it. And, but there's so much, I don't even like going on there for stuff I'm looking for, stuff I'm focused to get. That's how trashy the eShop for Switch is right now. So, yeah, we need an absolute banger, says Ewan. I personally don't have many qualms against the eShop since I have a huge backlog and just go to my wish list to see if anything is on a good sale. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. I personally don't, but if you're just getting into Switch, I still kind of do, because like I said, I do actively look for games, digital games and stuff, downloads. So I do have an issue with it. It's not crazy, but they need to control what's going on in there. If not going to do that, they should have better options as far as how they categorize that's the eShop. So how much is Polymega? I saw MVG's review and I think I'm sold. Yeah, I've been looking at the Polymega for about a year and a half now, maybe longer than that. Probably about a year and a half. I think it's 3, if I'm not mistaken. I was hoping that MVG would say it in his video, but I believe it's 3. I didn't back it because I wasn't sure. You never know with these things. A lot of people back this stuff. They back Atari VCS and all this trash, and they still haven't gotten it. I'm not doing that. But if the console, because it's a crapshoot. You don't know if it's going to be good or not. So I hope it's good. And like you said, you watch MVG's video, and he even opened it up, even though the company didn't want him to. So he opened it up and let you see. I don't think it was a big deal. It's very cool looking console. And in the future, they're going to have these add-ons that you just pop off the front of your system and you slide in the cartridge slot for Super Nintendo, N64, not N64, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, I believe, a 32X as well. I mean, how cool is that? Like all one system. And the UI, that's another thing that sold me on that system, Polymega. The UI is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Your game, the artwork, it looks so professional and cool and just stylish. I loved it. So totally. So I'm subscribed to Polymega's channel, so they give you updates. They haven't done one in a while, but you get updates once in a while. They just show you how this works and how that works, and I'm just impressed how well and good Sega Saturn looks on there. And it's not going to replace me playing my hardware, but eventually these old CD-based systems are going to die. The lenses are going to die. Yeah, there's ways to replace them. People who do it, or you can learn how to do it yourself, the lenses and all that stuff. But if you don't want to go into all that, these kind of consoles, these clone consoles, for the CD stuff, I don't care as much about cartridge-based stuff because cartridges are sturdy as hell and they last like forever. But when it comes to CD consoles, I start worrying about my Dreamcast, start worrying about my Saturn, because these things are old. These are 25-year-old consoles. And those lenses are going to wear out. Those motors are going to wear out. And to have a new system that can, you plug in an HDMI and you play it, I mean, that's fantastic. So definitely going to pick that thing up. So yeah, I don't know how much. I think it's 3. It seems steep, but for what this thing does, man, to me, that's a bargain. For what it does for Saturn alone, I'm sold on it for Saturn alone. But Sega CD, I don't have to hook up all these, that's cool for me. Because I don't, as far as Sega CD goes or Sega goes, I don't have the nostalgia or anything like that, or the personal connection with the controller to where I have to play it on that. Eventually, once in a while, I still will, because I do have nostalgia for playing the old consoles and stuff. I do like booting them up and seeing the logos, and I do love that stuff. So I still will play. But as far as like capturing and then streaming and stuff like that, once I get my PC back together, streaming old games, because that's what I want to do. I don't, maybe once in a while I'll stream something new, but I like to play my new games. It's a personal thing. I like to experience them for myself at the time. So I don't know how much I'll be doing with that, but definitely older games. And because I want people to play older games. I want them to see a lot of them still hold up. Don't believe that you can't go back, because you can. And a lot of these games still play and look good. So let's see. Yeah, you already answered that. They should have a new developer section on the system, on something in the eShop. Yeah, stuff like that would totally help new developer. I just feel really bad for small companies who have games that come out. I actually have some reviews I need to do. I had some review copies for smaller eShop games. They just get buried. They get lost, and I feel bad for them. Thanks for that, Mythical. Ewan, yeah, you said it. It's definitely not replacing my OG hardware, and I'm scared to death of my console dying. I also like how you can also rip the discs to the hard drive to preserve them too. Yes, I forgot about that. That is a dope feature. So you don't have to swap games if you don't want. You can rip them. Yeah, to your SD card. I think you have to have an SD card. I'm not sure how much you can go up to, but you don't need a ton for these older games. Space. You can get something for like 100, let's say 128 gigabyte a flash card, and I think, or SD card, I think you'll be fine for the life of the console. But yeah, you can rip to the hard drive, the SD card, and play right off of that. You don't have to put the disc back in. That is cool. That is awesome. And you can keep your game cases closed and safe and preserved. Keep that oxygen out, so they don't ruin them. And that's another thing. I don't want it to replace my OG hardware, like you said, but I think it'll extend the life of my OG hardware. Because if I'm using this and the OG hardware, I'm not using my OG hardware as much. So, like not long ago, my OG Xbox, stopped reading discs, and it drives me insane. I'm upset about it because it's one of my newer disc-based systems as far as retro systems go. It's weird to say Xbox is retro, but it's kind of reaching that, and it's already gone. So I can replace it, which I think is more expensive than just buying a new Xbox. I might as well just buy a new OG Xbox used. But then again, you don't know what you're getting there. This was mine, not this one. So I'm wrong about that. Maybe I can switch, because then again, I don't know if that one works either. Mine cocked out, my original one. This is one I bought 3 or 4 years ago. It's modded, so it has like a lot of emulated systems on there and games. And that's another thing about backwards compatibility. That's why I love what Xbox is doing, Microsoft is doing, is that I don't have to worry about, some games still won't play and then they'll never come again, like I said. But it's cool to be able to play, like, especially the popular games, the bigger games on the system, because I enjoy a lot of those, and be able to play them on my current Xbox One and have them enhanced. So that's great. Let's see. 10.0 update under maintenance. Is it for anyone else? Oh. It was under maintenance, says Mythical, on my first try. Then I worked the second try 10 minutes later. Just busy servers. Yeah, busy servers. Makes sense. Ewan, okay, remember to make a wish at 11:11. I'm out, GL, and stay safe. T. All right, Ewan. Peace out, man. Thanks for joining. Jensen, I'm probably impatient, but I'm totally going to remap my GameCube controller inputs to work better on Splatoon, Mario Odyssey. Oh, yeah, that was another thing I forgot to actually put in my my Mario video remake, remasters, 35th anniversary video. Is that because people were like, well, how are you going to play, Galaxy? There's some involved stuff, especially in Galaxy 2, I think, or is it Galaxy 1? Maybe I think it's Galaxy 2 that has more involved motion stuff. But you can get around that with gyro because it's not overly precise. Just timing wise, you just got to be quick as far as you're pointing, so you can grab certain platforms and stuff. So you can get by with that. But I was thinking Sunshine. To me, there's a lot of nuances with the analog triggers in Sunshine, and how much you press them, and that kind of stuff. I think that's important. And the cool thing is that you can use your GameCube controller right now on your Switch for almost every game. And I use it for Grid, the racing game, and because the developers added analog support for the shoulder buttons. And so if you have a Pro controller, you can't have that. But people would get upset. Oh, well, I don't need analog for racing. Do you play racing games? No. So be quiet. I do play racing games. I play a lot, and having that analog gas is very cool. It's very cool because I don't like to brake a lot, but being able to like slightly adjust my speed and stuff using the analog is great, especially in sim racing games like Forza and stuff. But obviously that's not on Switch. But I'm saying Grid it's arcadey, but it's also more simulation. So it's cool to be able to have that analog, support. And it's cool that they put it in there. This company came along, threw that in. They didn't have to give GameCube support, GameCube controller support, but they did, and that's really cool. So if Sunshine is a thing, remaster or remake, I tend to think it would be a remaster. Sunshine would be. Maybe the only game that would remake is Mario 64, and I might, might have my issues with that. But so now you can have a GameCube controller if you have the GameCube adapter. If you have that, you can now again go back to using your GameCube controller. That is dope. That's the kind of stuff I really like to see, and I like to see more of. Hopefully. Let's see here. What do you think about the 3D Mario games potentially being remastered for Switch, Jensen? I have a video on that a couple videos ago. You'll get my whole take on it. But like I said, it would be cool. It's cool because you can use GameCube controller on Switch. So I think that, to me, I feel like that's important. Some people may not feel like it, but I think it's important for Sunshine to have analog triggers for the flood. Silicone 17. Oh no, you said racing getting me hyped for Burnout Paradise for Switch. I mean, I'm somewhat looking forward to it because I do like Burnout. I never played Paradise. A lot of people, that's not a lot of people's favorite Burnout. I think Burnout 3 is a lot of people's favorite. Mine is probably 2. I probably put 300 hours into that game on GameCube. I played the crap out of that game. The crash, what do you call it? The crash mode and all that stuff. Man, that was so much fun. Like racking up as much damage, and car pileups and all that. I mean, so clever and so much fun. I love that. I don't think Burnout 3 had. I could be wrong. I haven't played it in a while, but I don't think Burnout 3 has the crash mode. But I like Burnout 3. It's my favorite. Who was the developer? Let me see if I can spot my. I don't know if I can spot it from here. My eyes ain't what they used to be. Before EA, somebody else was publishing, and for 1 and 2, I can't remember who they were. 2 is my favorite for sure. I played so much of that on GameCube; it's insane. It's probably my second favorite, or my second most played game on GameCube, behind what's probably my most probably Nightfire, because of the multiplayer. It was the closest thing to GoldenEye to me on GameCube. Played a ton of Nightfire multiplayer, and I love that game. Love that game. So yeah, my 2 most played games on the system on a Nintendo console were third-party games, being Burnout and Nightfire. EA game at that. And back when EA was a really good company and they did some really cool games. So yeah, Sunshine is one of my favorites, and I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the controls since I have my GameCube controller. It says Mythical. What do you think could be Nintendo's next big console hardware feature gimmick? I don't think the next console will be too much different than the Switch, but there's got to be something special. Yeah, I got to update my video called the Nintendo Cycle: Revolution to Evolution. Is my theory on the Nintendo cycle of how they make their consoles, and it holds pretty true up until the Switch, because the Switch is revolutionary in its design as far as how people play, but it's also an evolution of the Wii U. But it's less that, especially if you look at what Nintendo supports, feature-wise on the Wii or on the Switch, as far as controls and stuff. That's what I'm talking about, not anything else. They don't really go crazy about Rumble, HD Rumble anymore. They don't really go in on motion stuff, them personally. But it's cool to see third party doing the supporting that stuff. So technically, this next console for Nintendo would be the Evolution console. So I think that's a good idea. I think they need to evolve what the Switch does. So, give it a 1080p screen. Do VR with it, because I think 1080p is much better for VR. Because I made a video talking about how the Switch is the perfect VR solution for gaming consoles, because you don't have to buy anything extra. You have to buy a headset to hold it, on your face without having to hold it like they do now. But the hardware is there. So get serious about it. Make a nice headset, VR headset. Make VR not crazy important, but a way more important aspect of the console. You can evolve that. You can certainly evolve your own line. You can evolve the form factor with Joy-Cons and stuff. We were hoping that would happen this generation. It's looking more and more like they're not going to do anything on that front. So you can make more customized looking stuff to where your Joy-Cons look, like my Switch Pad Pro, or my Split Pad Pro here, get them looking cool and all that good stuff. So you can do that. That's a way to evolve it. And oops, I just hit the mic. Sorry. So I think evolving it would be better. Evolving the feature set, evolving it online, evolving the hardware, obviously making it more powerful, making the screen 1080p so you can do VR more competently, and stuff like that. Maybe maybe not 1080p. Maybe you want to jump to a 4K screen. I don't know. It depends on how much they want to spend and how much they want you to spend. So I would be, totally fine with that. And power wise, let's say approaching, or no, not approaching, power wise around Xbox One X, because Xbox One X hasn't been tapped, I don't think. And maybe do make the dock significant, make it to where it does help CPU or GPU, and actually does contribute so you can have more power using the dock, on your TV. So that would be an evolution I would use. So I think it would make a lot of sense to be an evolutionary console to the current Switch. For the next console, that was a good question, Mythical. For the next console, says Silicon, I think for sure the third-party support more now since Gearbox is hopping on with Borderlands and BioShock, especially for fun. I want to say that, they got it fixed. Nintendo figured it out. Third parties is going to be just regularly be on Nintendo consoles from now on. I can't, because you never know what Nintendo's going to do, and you never know how third parties are going to respond to what Nintendo's going to do. So the Wii was a high selling console, but it was way underpowered. So they weren't able to port, stuff over from 360 and PS3 as much as they would like. Yeah, there were some games that were a lot of scaled back stuff. And a lot of us, I think, looked and ran really good for the Wii, like the Call of Duty games. Dead Rising, there's a lot less zombies on screen, stuff like that. But I mean, I think it did pretty well for what it was. And so I just don't know. I think expecting third party to just be there because of the success of Switch is setting yourself up for disappointment, possibly. Not that, they won't be there automatically, but you just never know because, the Nintendo I knew likes to blow it up. They like to build a house and then throw a grenade at it and start it again. So you never know. All right. So last topic I'm going to get out of here is trash DLC. So this one was given to me by Visor Grunt on Twitter. This is the one that I got from him. He what is it? He put tagged me in this article about Persona 5 Golden, and how all the DLC was discovered to be on the disc. And that is just a trash practice. Trash. I did a video forever ago. Look it up. It's hilarious, I think, called Broken Gamers Equals Broken Games. Warning of the DLC apocalypse to come. And I warned that, don't buy this day one DLC crap. Don't buy this stuff because this stuff is going to end up just being on the system, on the disc already, and they'll unlock it as you pay for it. So it's stuff that was already in the game, already on the game. They lock away till you get that DLC code and pay for it. and they charge you for it, stuff that you already own. I think legally, if somebody has some kind of drive, that's going to be a problem going forward, because you're selling somebody something. You're selling them this thing, but you're keeping parts of it away from them. And even if you don't, quote unquote, promise them that, because you don't know what's in the game as you buy it. You don't know this section or whatever is not in the game when you buy it until you play it. So I think there's going to be some legal issues if somebody really looks into it, as far as them selling you something, but locking part of it away from you. I mean, that's just despicable. That's not what DLC is supposed to be about. DLC is supposed to be, at its best, the game is out. We had some new ideas. Now we want to, implement them and give you to them. Or, at the worst of it, and this isn't bad, but on the worst end, before I start getting upset, is, we were working on the game. We wanted to hit our deadline. We had a really cool idea that we wanted to add to this game. We don't have enough time. We want to get this game out. But this thing we're adding is pretty significant. And then they tell you about that and you get that later. To me, that's fine. That's where the line is drawn for me, though. You can't go beyond that. When you start putting the stuff on the disc, and this is probably one of the first confirmed cases of that, because there's always been speculation that has been the thing. Especially when you get a game and you buy the DLC and it's like kilobytes in size, and you're like, how is this 5, hour or 2 to 3 hour thing only, 68 kilobytes? Because that's just the code to unlock the stuff that was already on the disc. That's why it's that small. So that's despicable. It's a despicable practice, and it needs to die in a ditch alone. And I would never support that. That makes me, not even want to buy any Persona game going forward. That's the kind of stuff that, or I don't know who implemented this, because Sega owns Atlas. I mean, Atlas is putting the game out. That could have been something that Sega pushed for. So it's to the point where I don't even know, that I wouldn't even want to buy anything from them, because this is just a bad practice. It's bad. It's anti-consumer at its finest, at its worst. So that drives me insane. Jay Biggs, what's up? Wow, says Zeno. Yeah, it's despicable, man. Shaking my head, Atlas. That reminds me of Transformers Fall of Cybertron, when I bought the DLC packs and the downloads were only kilobytes each. It was just code that injected that and unlocked the stuff from the disc. Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're buying DLC that's any kind of significance. If your DLC is a background photo, maybe it's maybe that is the right file size. But if you're downloading DLC and it's kilobytes in size, that stuff is already on the disc and they locked it away. And that is shady as hell and nasty and despicable and disgusting. And it just pisses me off. And I want nothing to do with that stuff. I won't even buy your game when I figure that out. Hopefully I figured it out before I bought it. But that's the kind of stuff that I get principled about. And I'm like, I'm not even buying anything you make anymore. That pisses me off that much. So, I hate that, man. Silicon Mortal Kombat Frost issue right there. She was in game, just have to fin the story, but you have to buy her beginner's trap DLC. Getting sketchy recently. I mean, a lot of people are doing it. That's why I wouldn't buy Mortal Kombat. I'm not buying it. I don't care. I wouldn't buy it. If I bought it to be used. Let's see. Jensen. Okay, I promise one final question. Hey, it's fine, man. Whatever. What is your favorite Mario game ever? Oh, man. Why would you ask me that? That's one of those favorite. What's your favorite kid questions? Favorite Mario game. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and break it up into 2D Mario, 3D Mario. I think that's fair. Favorite 3D Mario game. I mean, I have to go with Mario 64. Maybe it's my nostalgia goggles. But if it wasn't for Mario, it wasn't Mario 64, it would definitely be Galaxy 1. Just blew me away. Amazing, amazing games, both of those. So without my nostalgia goggles, I'd probably say Mario Galaxy for 3D Mario. Now 2D Mario, man, it's just so much harder. 2D Mario is just, it's between two games. I want to say 3 because I just thought Doki Doki Panic, aka Super Mario Brothers 2, was just so different and cool and blew me away because of that. But if I'm, being honest, it's between Mario 3 and Super Mario World. That is so tough. That is such a tough pick. And they were so close together, both of those games when they came out. Then Super Mario Brothers 3 was 89 and Super Mario World was 91. I didn't play it till 92. But man, if I had to pick, I had a gun to my head or whatever. If I had to pick, I would probably pick Super Mario World. But on any given day, that could be Super Mario Brothers 3. Those games Mario Brothers 3 just blew my mind when it came out. So that made Mario World not as impactful, but it still was impactful, So I would have to go with Super Mario World, though. It was just so cool. The secrets, Star World, Bowser, the teacup battle at the end, his flying wind-up teacup is what I called it back then. The music, oh my God. I think that's one of the things that's so overlooked in Mario World, especially. The music was so good in that game. So awesome. The audio, the sound design, like everything was great about that game. So it'd be Mario World. So Galaxy, Mario 64, and Super Mario World for my Mario games. And that is platforming Mario games. Some people want to put in Mario Kart and Paper Mario. I'm talking about pure platforming Mario. All right, so Mario 3 is better than World in my opinion. See, I can't argue with that, Jensen. Like I said, Mario 3 was certainly the more impactful game that just, like I said, blew my mind. With the inventiveness and the coolness and just that idea of that Mario was on a stage play for the whole game. I mean, that's just the music, and the music in that game was phenomenal. Like the Calypso music. Oh my gosh. Like I can still hum pretty much every song in that game. I know it right here. Not as much with what is it? Super Mario World, but still pretty close. Could just having to do with how much I played that game. But they're both so good. Just thinking about the castle music. Oh my God. It's just, I want to go play it now. It's such a great game. Both of those games are great. I think, toss up on what you pick. I have no problem with who picks what from that. So, let's see. My extra light turned on. let's see. I got Mario 3 when it came out, and got World for 3 Christmas 91. See, yeah, I didn't get a Super Nintendo until 92. I actually got a Super Nintendo, and I got the Genesis 2. I upgraded. I got an extra one that year too. I was gaming my ass off in 93, 92. So it was great. Number 3 had so much stuff and had the best suit. Hammer Bro suit. Yeah, Hammer Bro suit was great. But the frog suit was so perfect for swimming. It was the best swimming in a Mario game to me. I missed the frog suit. I wish they would bring that back. But yeah, like I already said, like the game is so inventive. The cloud, they weren't castles. The Cloud Fortress battles and battling the Koopa Kids for the first time. The game is great. It's great. So let's see. I remember being blown away when the SNES box says it features digital stereo sound and not knowing what that meant. And that's true. It did feature digital stereo sound as provided by Ken Kutaragi from Sony. I guess he was, he knew the Nintendo folks. And one of the things he said you guys could improve on was the audio from the NES. He's like, that audio chip isn't the best. And he went in and made a dedicated chip. It was a dedicated sound chip for the Super Nintendo. And, there are great stuff on Genesis as far as music soundtracks and stuff. And some people did some really good things with that sound chip. But I feel like it was easier to get good audio on the Super Nintendo. And when you got good audio, you got great audio. So I think it was definitely worth it. But yeah, it did have digital. I didn't know what it was at the time either, I don't think, because I wasn't really into audio stuff yet. But yeah, digital stereo sound. Having no clue what it meant at the time. Mythical, the Super Mario World art style, overworld map, mechanics, and music are all my favorite. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Again, it was an evolution of 3, because before 3, you didn't have an overworld map where you can slide around and tackle certain things. That came from 3. Mario World took that. It took a lot of stuff. It took a lot of cues from Super Mario 3. So that's why it's hard to put, it's hard to just say outright which is the better one. I think for a lot of people, it's like Majora's Mask versus Ocarina of Time. To me, Ocarina of Time is the best, clearly. But Majora's Mask had evolutions on what Ocarina of Time did. But for me, it wasn't overall as solid of the game. So it's either, like I said, it's a toss-up. Let's see, I read that. Silicon. A lot of things that we all didn't know for words flew around like blast processing. That was my favorite saying. Yeah, blast processing, it's infamous, but it did have blast processing. But, I think they changed what it's called for marketing purposes, and that wasn't stupid. That was a smart thing to do. So, all the bits and all that. We didn't know what bits were back then. We just knew more bits mean it's better, because we saw 8-bit in the NES, and they said Sega Genesis is 16-bit, and you could see the difference easily. And same thing for Super Nintendo. I remember seeing. I always talk about this, but seeing the Bullet Bill on Super Mario World for the first time, dun, 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 and then seeing that boom, boom, and the big ass Bullet Bill flying across the screen. You can do that on Nintendo. You can do that on NES. So you could totally see big differences, and that was great. My favorite Mario game is Sunshine. Bless you, Zena. It is my least favorite 3D Mario. It's probably my least favorite Mario. But again, that's like saying it's my least favorite Ferrari. You know, like those games all still are great. There's just a lot of flaws that I see because, you know, and again, it could be a timing thing. Like I was an adult when Mario Sunshine came out, and I was paying to a lot more stuff about gaming, paying attention to a lot of more stuff about gaming than than I did when I was younger. So I knew about, you know, how it was rushed, and they took some worlds out of it, and they threw the blue coin stuff in, and I didn't like how Mario would move a little bit more even after you stopped the physics and stuff of his controls. I didn't care for the flood. Again, if you're just coming to it later and you're like playing it and the flood. For me, it was like, oh, we just got a game with a Mario character with something on his back. And that was Luigi's Mansion. That was the first game we got. And it's like, oh, you guys are doing that again. So there was that stigma around it. I was like, oh, you're putting a backpack on Mario too? Like, I just thought that was the thing for Luigi's game. So I felt a little for that as well. So you got to understand, like, my perspective was probably different for yours playing that game the first time and not having all that outside stuff that was bothering me. And also, I knew about Delfino Island. It's supposed to be populated with humans. It's supposed to be human NPCs on that island. And, you know, when they first showed the game off, the NPCs were humans. So that would have been the first game where Mario interacted with other humans. And they took that out. You know, when Mario is maturing, you know, that's what things they would say early on with that game. And I thought, I wasn't talking about like he's going to have a gun, but I meant like he was going to be around like other human characters and mature in the natural sense of the word, you know, progress and in a way that he hadn't really done up until that point. So that's what I was looking for. And it didn't hit those marks, you know, whereas something like Zelda, I was looking forward to something close to that demo. After they showed that demo, because back then, again, now if you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, when Nintendo puts Zelda in their demos for new consoles all the time, but back then that was the second time, and the first time I don't really remember, you know. But the first time they put Zelda in a demo was for N64, but the game came out and looked way better than the demo. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking that may be a thing again. They did the demo for with Zelda, or had Link and Ganon clashing. You guys remember that footage? And I was like, oh my god, is it possible that it's going to end up looking better? Because that was Nintendo's kind of cycle. They would show something, and then when it came out, it looked better. And technically, you could say it looked better because it had a different art style that aged way better. So I had but everybody, not just me, after seeing that demo, we were all like, oh, that's what the next Zelda is going to look like. Oh, man, it looks great. And people got annoyed. It's like, oh, you're going to cutesy Zelda? Or you're going to cutesy that universe after? I mean, leave the cutesy stuff for Mario and Kirby and let Zelda be your quote-unquote more mature title. But all that melted away once you actually played the game. But there was still that stigma around it. So, you know, it is what it is. And then we also got the Zelda, what do you call it? Demo for Wii U. When they first showed the Wii U off, and they were showing all the demo stuff. What was it, like a bird or something? And like a Japanese home with a pond and all that stuff. And then they showed Link walking into, I think it was like the Temple of Time, and then like what's the spider creature came down, Skulltula, and he fought giant Skulltula and something. Like, you know, that footage didn't look that great to me. It was like, okay, well, this is what Link's going to look like in HD. But Breath of the Wild destroys that. Like it looks, art style is way better. So again, you got the context of what was going on, how I was feeling at the time that game came out. I was a young man. I was caught up in the purple lunchbox. I was Nintendo's finally doing DVDs. No, because they said it. Our next console was going to be a DVD console, and they kind of lied. They didn't really lie, but they kind of did because there was many DVDs, and everybody at the time, trust me, was thinking the GameCube was going to play DVD movies the way PlayStation was. I didn't need that, but that's what people were thinking. So when you're on that mindset of, it's going to be, it's going to play DVDs like the PlayStation 2 and whatnot, and you're going to be able to play movies and whatnot, and it's coming with a modem. It's going to have online. Yeah. These were all things at the time, again, I was a young man, late teens, early 20s. So I had those sensibilities of, why are you playing that purple lunchbox with the little baby Fisher-Price handle on the back? I had that sensibility. I'm not above that. It's, a human reaction, typical male human reaction. So there was that stigma that I was fighting with, and I was still defending my GameCube to everybody who would try to challenge me. But, these are things that were bothering me at the time that I was thinking about. I was thinking about, they said we're going to have a DVD, but it didn't. At the end of the day, I didn't really care. But DVDs were big. That was a big thing. My girlfriend bought me one, and that thing was like $560 at the time. And she got me one with like Matrix and Blade. Was it Blade? Yeah, Matrix and Blade DVD. And she spent like $600. And so to be able to have that on my console was like, that's going to be cool. I can just play my GameCube game and then play a DVD movie, There wasn't no Netflix, so that was a cool thing to have, a multimedia thing. So when we didn't get that, that was like, we groaned for that. Then I remember I was going to work before Space World showed up. Space World was, if you know what Space World is, it was Nintendo's own show they used to do. And they would show off their stuff. And so I'm sitting there. I don't think I even had, I had a computer problem at the time. I think I had web TV just because I wanted to surf and my computer was shot. So I was sitting there refreshing web TV, web TV, folks, from Microsoft, refreshing web TV, trying to get, photos of this GameCube and all this stuff. And I remember seeing those splotchy photos on, 56K modem, thinking, oh no, it's purple. Why is it purple? Oh no, why is it like a little box? Oh no, it has a handle on the back. It's a purple lunchbox. And I said, this is gonna fail. And it didn't fail, but it didn't do anywhere near what Nintendo wanted. It did worse than N64, which, again, also wasn't a failed console. It did worse than Super Nintendo, but it was a successful, very popular console. It's just that PlayStation came out and did stuff that nobody ever did in gaming as far as sales. So there was all the stigma I was dealing with. Now I was walking. I remember going to work feeling kind of down because I was like, oh man, I was so excited for GameCube and Nintendo was doing this. And then later, they showed footage of Mario, like I said, and I saw like people. And I was like, that's cool. And it didn't make launch. I was hoping it'd make launch, and it didn't. So we got Luigi's Mansion, which was a good game. I didn't appreciate it at the time for how cool it was because I wanted my Mario game at the launch of a Nintendo console. They had done that, from the beginning. So where's my Mario game? So it was a short tech demo-ish kind of, that's how I was feeling, tech demo-ish kind of thing with Luigi. I don't want Luigi. I want Mario. I'm a Mario fan. And he has his backpack on. He doesn't jump or so you guys got to understand the context of what gamers my age or a little younger were thinking about when it came to the GameCube. And all this stuff led to 21 million units sold. So we weren't completely wrong. And GameCube had some fantastic games on it. So it's sad at the but that stuff matters as far as at least then. I don't think it matters as much now because I think the Switch proves that that stuff doesn't matter as much now. But back then it was like machismo, and we just came out of the SNES Sega Genesis Wars, and PlayStation came out of nowhere and had all these quote unquote mature games and edgy stuff and just whooped Nintendo's ass during the N64 era. And then, all right, here's your chance to come back. You're doing a disc-based console. You got that. And then, oh, no, why you do that? Oh, no, why? Yeah, that's a stumble. And that's how people felt. I knew gamers around the time, what they were talking about. I was like, ugh. I ain't buying that. And these are people that bought Dreamcast. Happily went out and bought Dreamcast. And Dreamcast is a great console, but it didn't have that stigma. It had the stigma of Sega's stupid, poor decisions, but it didn't have the stigma of like what Nintendo had at the time. Oh, that's a kid's console. Oh, look at all those colors. This is all colorful. Everybody loves colors now, but people didn't love colors back then. They wanted something that would not stick out like a sore thumb in your entertainment center. So it was a funny time, and I can't believe I went on this super rant, not rant, but super thing about how gaming was at that time, and that's how I knew GameCube wasn't going to do well, because I knew gamers my age and what they were thinking about, and they weren't crazy about Microsoft's Xbox either. But PlayStation that came out, and it was a mature gaming console. If you had a girlfriend and you were kind of sensitive about your gaming habits, you could say, "Hey, girl, this is my game console, but we can Netflix and chill," which was watch DVDs on it back then. And husbands said that to their wives. It's like, oh yeah, DVD cons or DVD players are way more expensive than this. We can have something the kids can play, me, and we can watch movies on it, and it's a lot cheaper. So that's how, because people were embarrassed about playing games at that time. Even me myself was like, I think I'm getting too old to play video games. This will probably be my last console. And here I am 20 years later, still doing it. So, yeah, that's cool. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. But since you brought up Sunshine and why you liked it and how you liked it, I was just trying to explain all the nuances to why that game didn't hit for me. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Let me read these comments and get out of here. Let's see. Now you guys are chatting it up here. Okay, I remember when first time on black screen. Okay, Jay Biggs. I remember when we put in Super Mario World for the first time. That black screen came on, then that ding hit when it said Nintendo presents me, and my cousins were like, "Whoa, yeah, that!" And then like the music, and then watching the demo, and then seeing Yoshi, like Mario jump on Yoshi's back, and yeah, I mean, I think Yoshi puts it over the top. It puts it over Super Mario Brothers 3. But again, it's hard to say. Jensen, I didn't think of that for Mario Sunshine. I respect your opinion, I think you're saying there, even though it hurts my soul for you to say that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's of a time thing. It was of an era thing, because it got delayed. They wanted it to be a launch title, but it got delayed until the summer of next year. And nobody really put out games like that in the summer, so it kind of felt weird. I think it came out like right after E3. But like I said, there was issues about it that to this day bother me. But I don't take anything away from anybody else because, like I said, I was in a different mindset when that game came out, and it didn't do what I was wanting it to do post Mario 64. I wanted Mario 64 2. That never came out for N64. It was supposed to, but it never came out. And a lot of the stuff from Mario 64 2 supposedly went into Sunshine. So I had a lot of anticipation and expectations for that game, and it didn't meet a lot of them. So, but I can totally understand why a lot of people, could love it. So I get it. Let's see. That's something I really like. The brothers getting their own unique backpacks made by the same dude. Something about that when I was younger just seemed really cool. Again, my perspective was different because I was like, oh, they're doing that again. The GameCube was a series of not what I was wanting, not what I was expecting. So a lot of times that's good. A lot of times that could be a good thing. But one of the reasons I don't like rumors because back then rumors were crazy rampant, and we didn't realize they were rumors. We a lot of times we expected those things to happen, and so they broke our hearts a lot. But I mean that wasn't a major issue. But like I said, I felt what I felt about Luigi's Mansion at the time. I later grew to love the game, but at the time I was like, oh, I spent $200 on a GameCube. I got Rogue Squadron 2 and that and Madden. So I spent over $300, and you get what you get from Madden. Rogue Squadron 2 was great, and here's my meaty Mario game I wanted, and it wasn't that at all. It was, like I said, it was pretty short, beautiful looking game, but wasn't what I wanted. I wanted Mario. And so when I finally got Mario, and it's like, oh, he's in a backpack too, so I couldn't break my mind away from that. But then I noticed all the other issues, like I said. So let's see. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is pretty good. Yeah, I love that game. Love it. Says tabletop. Zeno, see, that's something that I really. Zeno said that, by the way, about the backpacks. The brothers getting the backpacks from EGAD. Now I love it. I love that whole idea. But at the time, again, I was feeling these societal pressures and what I wanted from GameCube. And then, I came out right about it. I was like, oh, see, Nintendo, I was right. You guys shouldn't have done that stuff. And, look what happened. You got trounced this generation by Sony, even worse than last generation. And now the new guy in here is going to take the spotlight away from you. You guys should have did what I said. And you wouldn't be in this predicament. But there was a lot of really good, great games on GameCube. So the old system started ups and down, ups during that period was so cool. Ever since SNES and PlayStation, they all needed to do that. They all sounded nice. I loved when characters said Sega or Nintendo. So cool, says Silicon. Mythical. People in general underestimate how much subjectivity is involved regarding what people like. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of subjectivity. Everybody's not going to love what you love. There's a lot of reasons, outside reasons. Like I said, there was outside factors that were pushing me as far as Sunshine goes. I had fun playing it. I enjoyed it, but when it was over, it wasn't what I had wanted. It wasn't, it didn't quite reach what I was expecting. Let's see. Who said that? Zeno. No, Mythical said that. Zeno, as long as it's not full on people trying to shit on other people's likes, I totally understand and get the difference between likes. I just don't like that people who flame each other over this. Yeah, I mean, me and the Juicy Loose crew, we have fun. I may even say, Sunshine is trash. I don't believe it's trash. I do believe that it's not up to par as far as the other 3D Marios, but that's my personal opinion. A lot of people really love that game, and I get it. It it clicked for you. It didn't. It never clicked for me. Even to this day, when I go back to play it, it doesn't click. Especially, I mean, you have technical issues as far as I forget what is it called? What is that level where the level where you go and then you're playing the theme park? You know, you have the roller coaster. There's technical issues in that. You know, slow down. Not just slow down, but also control. Like, oh my god, that's some of the worst control feeling that I've had in that whole game. So, you know, there's stuff like that. For me, it just didn't click. I'm glad it clicked for you. I'm glad it clicked for a lot of people. So I ended up still buying it. It's still in my collection. I still play it. So let's see. Silicon, it kind of failed, but I finally getting more traction of good than bad now. I kind of wish it was noticed sooner, better than later. Which game are you talking about? Talking about Sunshine? Oh, Sonic Adventure. Okay. Stupid phone. All right, Antonio. I really never liked Sunshine. Yeah. I wouldn't say I disliked it, but I never loved it. I never gravitated to gravitated to it in the way that I gravitated to all other Mario games. So, Zeno, I definitely don't think you are a flamer when it comes to differences, man. I'm talking about, yeah, I know you weren't talking about me. I'm talking about the Twitter, Facebook trolls, or people you just run into. Yeah, we, like I said, me and the Juice Crew, we have fun. We rag on each other. We make fun of each other for liking, like, it's mostly me and Juice who get on like Clocked It, and I think Retro likes Sunshine too. We make fun of them, and and we talk about stuff, you know, that bothers us in the game. But it's never like, oh my god, it's a terrible game. How could you like that trash? It's nothing like that. We have fun. Silicon, the Palinko machine. Oh my god, I forgot about the Palinko machine. You can't tell me that that's good game design. That segment, that was so poorly designed. Surprisingly poor for a Nintendo game. To me, again, that was some janky stuff. That Palinko segment. Oh, that Palinko segment. There's also a segment where you're going up. There's like the flip cages, and you're going up the back of like a mountain or something, or the back of the. It's in the theme park level. You're going up the back. You're working your way up through that. That segment is so jank. So there's segments like that in the game that really bother me. But the game is gorgeous. The water is beautiful. It's pristine. So there's stuff about it that I really like. Sometimes when the physics work, they're really cool. I didn't care for what they did with Yoshi. I thought Yoshi was cheap. Didn't need to be in the game. That whole fruit thing was just lame to me. He's spitting fruit. It's just nasty. I never liked the fact that he was spitting fruit juice. So that it's a weird thing, but it did bother me. But yeah, that Palinko game still gives me nightmares. It was so jank. And I raged a lot in the non-flood areas. To me, those areas were cool. Like I said, Mario's stop was a little off. Like you would stop and he'd still do another couple of steps. It wasn't as tight controls as I was expecting, especially for a game that was very heavy platformer, especially in those sections. Those sections you remind me of, like, going to Bowser in N64, the Bowser levels, because it wasn't castles, so it was at Bowser platforming levels. So, yeah, well, that's it, guys. It was a great talk. I think I'm gonna chop up some of that. Like, I like that. Me talking about the GameCube. That's some good stuff. I'll chop that up and make that a separate thing. But yeah, while I play a GameCube game or something. Maybe Sunshine. We'll see. Yeah, this is cool. Thank all you guys for joining. I appreciate it. I can't believe I went till midnight. Again, with these technical difficulty problems, I probably could have finished earlier, but appreciate you guys. Zeno, Silicone, 17, Antonio Barbosa, Mythical. You guys had some great questions. Tabletop, Jensen, thank you. Jay Biggs. Hope I don't miss anybody. I'm trying to scroll. I think I got most of you who were in the chat at least. Bronze, Dason, 31. I think that's mostly everybody. Thank you guys all for joining. Ewan, thank you, my man Ewan. I think he had to leave earlier. So I think that Nintendo guy, Conga Slam. I'm going to leave you out. You got some good stuff in there. Lurking Ghoul, Boom Tendo. I love that name. It's cool. Boom Tendo. And I think that's everyone. Wow, there's a lot of again, shout outs to Cat Modge for the $5 donation, King Boom, Retro Def. You guys were earlier on. Appreciate you all for showing up to the stream, and see you on the next video. Peace. End stream, and yes.